funny what happens when you start to believe.
Right.
It's different for us to come to an environment and people are pushing you up. People are genuinely being happy for you. They are genuinely wanting you to win. And it's difficult sometimes for us to receive that because that's not what we're used to. And so when I came, I was in a position to where I was on my back. So I really only had room for the truth.
Right.
I really only had room for growth. Whatever, this person is telling me, I'm looking at him and Victoria like, at the time, they had hit 700,000. I didn't know that their income had rolled back. It wasn't for us to know that. All I knew was they had 7 diamonds. That's all I knew. As a matter of fact, when I came, they had just gotten the 7 diamond. They were still celebrating in the office when I came. And things started going backwards, so we didn't know that. But what they did was they poured into me. And, some people will say, well, why you? I don't know. And I get it now as I'm an RUP. It's just certain people, when they start to stick their head up, when they start to say the right thing, do the right thing, make the right choices, make the right decisions, you just know who to give a little more to because they're going to respect it.
Right.
So you know who to give it to. And when you want to be that person, you just start doing those things where they'll recognize. And I'm just forever grateful to you guys. Forever grateful. I love you guys dearly. And I don't take anything for granted. Mario got us emotional already. I was thinking we're going to, Mario talking about the little boy that couldn't go to the baseball game. And I'm like, oh my God. And I knew he was talking about himself. Keisha looking at me like, are you crying? I'm like, yes. What is wrong with you? That's all right. Look at him now, though. It's all good, Mario. I'm grateful for the environment that Victoria has created where we can be brothers and sisters with Mario and Diana, with Eric and Amber, Leslie and Perry. Let's say Perry and Leslie. Let's say Leslie and Perry.
Yeah.
I told him I was going to get him back for Pepper Spray Paul. He always want to show out when I have the mic last. Leslie and Perry. Ingrid Ellis, Myrna Juan, Herman and Joe. Of course, my RVPs, Keisha Jackson, Tristan and Chris, Lisa Scott, Nigga Solomon, and all the RVPs that are on their way. I'm truly, truly, truly blessed for this environment that they created so that we can be together, pump one another up, feed off each other's energy, and just be excited for growth as a unit. Because we are looked at right now in this company as something that everybody wants to know what's going on over there. Nobody understands how, and we didn't know this until we got on Larry Waddell's call, but I didn't know that Neil and Victoria Irvine were the only ones to have 3 base shops, 3 RVP base shops to do $100 grand, over $100 grand in the same month at one time.
Awesome.
And my hats off, it was led by the trendsetters. My hats off to you. And as the breadwinners would say, y'all did that. Now I'm going to talk to you about, how I came to have this mindset of everybody's winning, everybody fits in. When I came here, I was a probation officer, had been a school teacher for 10 years. I have a degree in criminal justice, I have a master's degree in education, But none of those things were giving me what I wanted. I had another lifestyle prior to coming to Primerica, and when I really think about it, that lifestyle was built on something other than my job. I had, Curtis and I had bought property. We saved our money, put our money together. We bought apartment buildings. We had 4 buildings, our home, and life was great. The market crashed. We started losing everything. We broke up. I look up and I'm a single mom with a daughter that's 2 years old, have to move back home to my mother's house. And it wasn't easy at all. I think most people don't understand why they get tried. God is never going to give his toughest battle to the soldier that can't handle it.
Right.
So, we find ourselves questioning, because I know I did. I questioned and questioned. I did everything I was supposed to do. Starting from high school, junior high school. I was always a good student. I was always that person that everybody, wanted to be friends with. I didn't diss nobody unless they needed to be dissed.
Right.
I didn't, I'm just saying, well, I can do it now. But I was always that person that was, I got along with everybody. I would go the extra mile as long as it didn't take me too far off my course.
Right.
I started questioning, like, why is this happening to me? Why did I work so hard to build a lifestyle and then it just gets taken away? Why did I work so hard to have a plan for my life all the way in high school and it just gets taken away? And I know that when Primerica found me, and I always say when Primerica found me,
Yes.
because I didn't know I was looking for anything. But when Primerica found me, it was in the form of Herman Ross. And it was him having a bad day. And it was him and Joe making a decision, with Joe making a decision, that he was going to prospect that day. And of all the people in that Target parking lot, he talked to me. And sometimes I lay in my bed at night, and I said, what if he had to talk to me? I used to owe the IRS $26,000 in back taxes. I was $2.2 million in debt. I didn't know what I was going to do, how I was going to do. And I literally had no choice but to take care of me. They take care of me. What these people? Oh, they take care of me. They think for me sometimes. It's crazy. When you bond with people, I care more about them than some of my own family. That is what it is. Somebody here right now is their first retreat, they don't understand that.
Yes.
Keep living.
Right.
Promise you, you'll understand. And so, I didn't know that what Primerica had in store for me, but all I knew was this. I prayed that day, God, what am I going to do? And when he prospected me in that parking lot, I didn't know it was going to lead to this. I just didn't know. What I did know was I was willing to try. That's what I did know. When he came to my house, told me all the things I needed to do, what had to be done, how this worked, I became a client instantly. And then I started looking at profitability. How could I make some money doing what he just did? It wasn't that hard. I know I was a hard person to sell to, and he did it with ease. So I said, okay, this has to be something that everybody needs, has to be something I know I can do. And so I started the journey. I didn't start off super fast. It took me, I made money immediately, because that's what I came to do. I said I wanted to make anywhere, to have to replace the $1,500 a month income as a part-time job as a substitute teacher. I was a probation officer, working 2.5 days on, 4 days off. And so I worked Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. And that was my first schedule. Then it switched to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. But I had days that I worked as a substitute teacher. And spend days away from my daughter. And it's funny how, you know, when I'm working for a man, I spend days with my child, it's okay. As soon as I'm a prime American and I say I can't do this and can't do that, everybody will look at me crazy. But when it's for the man, it's all right. It's okay. See, that's why it never bothered me when nobody thought. It never bothered me because they wasn't in those valleys with me when I didn't have no money. They wasn't, you know, they wasn't there. They wasn't there. So, I never cared what they thought. I got called a bad mother. I got called, you know, I didn't get called a bad mother by that man right there. And he had my back with my daughters. I was all right.
All right.
As long as he was all right, she was all right. He had to be my support system. You know, it's very difficult when you're not friends or can't make it work with the baby daddy or the baby mama. It's very difficult. Ex-husband, ex-wife, whatever you want to call it. It's very difficult. Because how that person perceives you is going to rub on that child. And so, I was blessed in that area. I was blessed to have that support. But it wasn't easy. This is a retreat. It's not out night with guests here. And if it's your first retreat, buckle up.
Yep.
Sunday's always Friday.
Yep.
It wasn't easy, y'all. On the way up here, I remember I was getting emotional. I was showing Curtis. I saw Jean Audrey exit. And I was just sitting there like, wow. In 2010, I was in a grind, different kind of grind in 3.5 years. 3.5 years straight, I wrote 10 to 22,000 personal premium on my pen and dedicated my life to teaching other people how to do it. That's what I did. We were talking, and he was like, people don't even understand. They love the stories when Curtis tell them. I didn't even know who she was. She would pull up to a function, hand collar off to me, and I'd be like, all right, gone. He said, she could barely come to nothing. I remember one time his mother was in the hospital, she had a stroke, and I had to get there, and I got up there, and I stayed as long as I could. I was itching. I stayed about 30 minutes, rubbing her hand, talking to her, and then I had to go. He could have talked about me like a dog for that. The whole family could have talked about me like a dog for that, but they didn't. But the thing that was more important is, I didn't care what they did. I had to go. I had to go. I could only give what I had to give. I couldn't give no more than that. And some of you gotta understand that. You can't care what they think about you because they broke. And if you care what they think about you, you're gonna be broke too. That's the bottom line. This is a reality check. Why are you where you at right now? Because you caring about what somebody thought. Most people in here have a license, but most people in here struggle to get here this week. Why is that? Because we're putting our feelings. You're in this business with feelings. It's a business. It's a business. Get out those feelings. Stop worrying about what they think and do it anyway. It has to get done. But when I came to Primerica, it was not talked about, but it was said but not talked about. You know, single women in the business, you don't really put a lot of time and energy into them. Because you better know it. Because we're looking for a husband. Our purpose is a little different. And I can't be mad at what the feeling was, because there was so many women that did that, it made it look true.
Right.
You can't be mad at what people are thinking. They have a reason to think that way. So I was determined to make sure they understood. No, I'm not a one-hit wonder. I'm going to do it again and again and again.
Right.
Once I started doing it. It took me 7 months to write 8,000 personal prayer. 7 months. That 7th month was magical because Neil Gerfine had a contest. Neil Gerfine is the master at push. Push, push, pull. And he had a contest that I wanted to win. Prior to that, like I said, I came here to make at least $1,500 a month. The lowest I made was, well, the first month, I made $800. After that, I made 12 to 15 every single month. I did what I came to do. Have you at least done what you came to do? See, everybody has something in their mind when they join. They was like, if I can at least make this, if I can at least make that. I know Eric said, I gotta make at least 1,500. I said, that's all you wanna make? I think he's superseded that. But, right. But my point is, have you done at least what you said that you wanted to at least make? And have you done it? It's not about just doing it once. Can you keep doing it? Mm-hmm. Can you consistently generate income on your own? Once you can consistently generate income, you can show someone else how to consistently generate income. Until you can do that, you will be alone. Now you can consistently generate income on your own, but if the people skills aren't right, you won't be able to attract and retain those that will grow you to the next level. You can tire yourself out by yourself, but you got to get better so people will want to be around you. When I would look at Neil and Tonia Gerfine, I looked at them as people I wanted to inspire to be like. See, I don't care what nobody thought, I just care what the white people thought. Then you have to put yourself in a position as a leader to be a person that people inspire to be like in some kind of way. Like, I gotta get like that. Oh, okay, I gotta learn how to handle situations like that. Oh, I have to learn how to look at things like that. We are here for you to learn from us. That is that's all I did. I came from Compton, y'all. I'm just saying, straight out of, you understand me? Straight born and raised, straight out of Compton. Elementary, junior high, high school, all that. And it took a lot for me then to not be that kid that was smoking weed in the back and ditching school and getting pregnant at 16. But it's fine, no, if that was you, that's fine. Keisha tells the story all the time. She had a baby at 16, but look at her now. It don't matter.
Right.
It don't matter. But my path was a little different. That wasn't me, and I worked so hard for it not to be. But the Primerica don't care. They really don't. Primerica is the most fair company. They give you a shot. Problem is, are you recognizing it or are you taking it? See, I listen very closely to what successful people have to say because I want success. I breathe success. I say this all the time. I wasn't that kid in high school that had a dream to be a veterinarian. It's funny you say that. I say it all the time without night. Viv love the animals. Now your daughter loves the animals and that's awesome, but I don't love the animals. I don't care about the animals. I'm not gonna hurt them now. I'm not, Michael Vick. I'm not gonna hurt them. But I really don't care about them. So I'm just saying, this is, I don't know about you, but this is me. I was in high school. I remember it was 9th grade. And I was at another high school up the street, but they kicked me out when they stayed in Compton. So anyway, long story. But I was in 9th grade, and I remember a class where they was talking about, what do you want to do with your life? And I remember the way I figured out what I wanted to do. I said, well, what am I good at? I said, I like to talk. I like to talk to people. I like to relate. I'm a social butterfly. Okay. So I started looking into this is honest God truth. I chose what I thought I wanted to do based on how much money I made. Because what I really wanted to do was be successful. So it really didn't matter what it was. I wanted to be successful. So I started looking at, okay, what can I do where I can talk? I want to be a newscaster. Oprah was like really big then, you know, on TV, on Channel 7. I want to be a newscaster, maybe have my own talk show. Then I thought about, okay, well, maybe I'll be a sportscaster. Wasn't very many women doing it then, as more now. Maybe I'll be a sportscaster. I can kill two birds with one stone and find a rich husband and make good money. That was the, you know. Now, I ain't saying I'm a gold digger, but you know the rest of the song. And it's been that way since 17, so I'm just saying. It don't look good walking to the bus stop. And you can pick me up after school. Anyway, so I'm just saying. So I thought about what I wanted to do based on, I knew the starting salary, I had researched the starting salary and everything. Starting salary was $180,000 as a newscaster back then. We're talking 89, 90. And so I said, oh yeah, that works for me. And so I started school. So my point is, I've always wanted to be successful. There was no path, the passion. I had to figure this out. America made that caused me to figure this out. There was no passion for nothing but being successful. I had a teacher in high school. He was a Nigerian. And I always put, she's a Nigerian, that's our guide right there. And he was a wealthy in his country. He came here to do charitable work. Came here to do charitable work while he got his degrees to go back to his country. He was my science teacher. And this was in the 11th grade. And he had a book called The Robb Report. And I was fascinated by it. I love nice things. I always thought something was wrong with me because I literally, everybody, you just, remember that word, materialistic? They used to run that word like crazy back then. Materialistic. I'll be there, whatever you want to call me. But I just tell them back then, but you're not going to call me broke. Right. You call me materialistic, but you're not going to call me broke. I used to say it all the time. They used to tease me when my last name is Poe. So when the classroom, they put it, you know, they call your last name first. They say, Poe Tonia, Poe Tonia, poor Tonia. I said, yeah, I might be Poe, but I ain't broke. So that was always my thing. And so I started looking through that, looking out, and I started understanding at that moment that there was another life out there. And I want a piece of it. And I didn't think there was nothing wrong with that. Yeah, I'm a girl in Compton and I'm dreaming. And in my mind, all I knew was the education. All I knew was go to school, get an education, and I could probably get it. That's why I shot for a career that paid away a lot more money. But when I got to Long Beach State, reality kicked in. I said Long Beach State don't really turn out newscasters. They don't have the best journalism school in the world. USC had one of the best ones. And see, nobody from primary talked to my parents. I always say this. I want to go to USC so bad, School of Journalism. But see, again, God was up there doing what he do. He was fixing it to where I thought I was so upset that I got into USC. I had a 3.7 and I'm African American. They was taking it. I play that card when I need it. So I had 3.7 and they was taking it. But what they wasn't going to do was give me much money. That financial aid is cute, but not when you're playing over here for big dogs. I had full financial aid for the state, and the full was not enough. Wasn't enough. So I didn't go. And I told my parents that I knew it would crush her. I knew it would crush my mom. My daddy probably would be like, I'll go somewhere else. But I knew it would crush my mother. So I lied and told her I didn't get in. And I always say, I say it at night, somebody from Primerica didn't talk to my parents. Who are you not talking to? Whose life? So you don't understand how this works. Whose life is being affected by the things you won't do? Whose life is being affected by the things you won't do? Nobody talked to my parents. They loved me just as y'all parents loved you. If somebody would, you don't think for 1 minute, if somebody would have told them they could put money away for $100 a month, when I was born, would have gotten me to USC, then they wouldn't have done it. But nobody talked to them. Somebody saw them in the store and walked right past them. Somebody had a conversation with my dad and he made them laugh and it was funny. But I guess it wasn't good enough for them to ask him, does he want to change his life? Whose life are you affecting by not opening your mouth? You don't even understand. We always talk about how, I can talk about all the success stories. But what about the people that we will never meet because you was too scared to make something happen? You let your fear block your blessing and somebody else's. You know, I'm so grateful because I was that senior rep in the back of the room and couldn't get nobody to come to me. I was that senior rep in the back of the room. It took me 7 months to go district. That's why I'm so adamant about brand new people getting on appointments. I took my trainer on 19 training appointments. He closed 18 to 19. My recruiting was the issue. I just didn't get to district by the time I got licensed. And it took me 7 months to get myself there. But I did it. Most people would have quit. I had people telling me names. Why does that? You broke. You can't tell me nothing. You know, I'm grateful. I'm grateful that the breadwinner hierarchy allows me to coach them. Forget what it's like sitting in the back of that meeting and mad because somebody didn't come to our night. Mad because I spent all week calling you. I've been in your house 3 times. You looked me in my eye and told me you was coming. I will never forget what it's like when I go to somebody's house and they home and I know they home and they turn that light off on me on that porch. I will never forget what it feels like to be in somebody's house and they dish you and they talk to you crazy like they looking down at you like you ain't nothing. I'll never forget what it's like to pour your heart to somebody and they talk about you like a dog and they quit and try to take your team with you. I'll never forget what that feels like. I'm always grateful for those that want to listen and that want to grow and that take what I say as law. They take what I say as law. Listen, you got to do the work for somebody to respect you. You can't just come in here and think that you can start talking about it. You got to be about it first. You can't just talk about it. You got to do it. There's no other way around it. Every speaker that you hear from has a grind time. Every $1 million earner has a grind time. Everybody has a grind time. It cannot be avoided. You cannot get something for nothing. It don't happen that way. Every tear, everything. I'm gonna drive home and I'm gonna go down Gene Audrey exit. And that's the exit. When I came out here on the KT in 2010, I came all the way out here on the KT on a Sunday in 2010. And I went to this house and it was supposed to be 3 KTs with these people that lived out here. We were gonna go from house to house. All of them blew out. I'm sitting there waiting. We go to another house. Nothing happens and I'm upset. I get on the phone and I said, okay, don't worry about nothing. It's 2 o'clock. I'm about to get back home. I got on the phone with one of the 15, 16 people I was training. I get on the phone and I say, I need you to call somebody. I need you right now today. We got to make this happen. I need you to get to somebody's house today. Who can you call? And I end up with a KT at 6 and a KT at 8. And then I get on the freeway to come on right here in Gene Audrey and the freeway at a dead stop. I had closed in 4 or 5 days. My mind wasn't right. I was just like frenzy. When you are closer and you don't close, baby, you don't think about nothing but closing. You like, what the hell is going on? Why I ain't closed in 3 days? I come out here and this bullshit happens, and I do the freeway, and then stop. I'm in on this phone making it happen. I got these people all riled up, they ready to go. I got a 6 and I got an 8 waiting on me. I'll be home in 2 hours, and I can't get home. I'm on the freeway, stuck. I was working on the freeway. It was one lane. The distance from Gene Audrey to those outlets takes you 15 minutes. It took me 2.5 hours. And I'm stuck. And I get on the phone and I call Curtis. I'm crying. I'm going crazy. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. To this day, he's talking about that conversation. That was 2010. I was making 4,000, 5,000, 6,000. I got my watch as a division. I was a division then. I got my ring as a regional leader. I went to work. Do you understand that? With no securities license, a chargebackable item, straight up kneecap to kneecap. Do you understand that? On them KTs, 3, 4, 5 a day if I had to. I was working, and I'm out there, and I'm mad, and I'm crying, and I missed my 6 o'clock, I missed my 8 o'clock. I didn't get home literally until 9 o'clock that night. And I'm like, why is this happening to me? And then I go home and I call my Neil, and I'm telling Neil what happened, and he's like, calm down. I'm pissed. Y'all think y'all the only ones? You don't make this kind of money by accident. Right. You will have to go through something to get what you want. That's the bottom line. Cut this shit out and get it done. Get it done. So what? I got a few people I need to help this to the stage because I have a team to get in jacket that I give away when people hit. I need my team to get in that's already. I need you on this stage, Keisha Jackson. I need Stephanie Bill, and I need Kristen Trent. They've already done 10 grand 3 months in a row. They earned their jackets already. They're already in my team to get in the club. But today, I got brand new inductees that need to get their jackets. I need Tonia and Nikki Taylor. I need Nikki Taylor out of jacket. Williams, Joaquin Easter, and her